Oh, Emmerdale fans, grab a cuppa and pull up a seat, because the village is swirling with shakeups, heartbreak, and some very juicy new possibilities. If you've ever felt that awful, hollow feeling after a breakup, or that sting of seeing an ex move on way too fast, then your heart is about to go out to Gabby Thomas. This week, the Dales felt the aftershock of Gabby and Vinnie Dingle's sudden split. It all came crashing down, and just like that, Gabby packed her bags, scooped up her adorable son Thomas, and marched right back to the imposing walls of Home Farm. But what about Vinnie? He was left standing in the doorway of Daleview, suddenly finding himself in a house that was no longer a home. We've all been there, haven't we? That rattling around feeling where every empty room and every silent corner is a screaming reminder of what and who is gone. The silence must have been deafening. But this is Emmerdale, and a vacuum never lasts long. Especially not when Kim, I run this village, Tate is your landlady. Vinnie barely had time to process the split before the Home Farm queen herself was swooping in, and let's be honest, Kim Tate doesn't do anything by halves. She found Vinnie moping in the cafe, and while she put on a good show of being concerned, you could just see the gears turning in her mind. Vinnie, bless him, immediately went on the defensive, assuring Kim that despite Gabby leaving, he could absolutely still afford the rent. It was that vulnerable, slightly desperate plea of someone just trying to hold on to one piece of stability while his world is falling apart. But Kim? She was already 10 steps ahead. With that signature, calculating glint in her eye, she revealed that she wasn't just thinking about new tenants, she was already advertising for them. Before Vinnie could even finish his tea, his fate was being decided. Kim Tate doesn't just meddle, she re-engineers situations to her liking. And who should just happen to be within earshot of this very convenient conversation? None other than Lewis Barton. In a move that felt like destiny or classic soap opera plotting, which we love, Lewis immediately piped up. He and his brother, Ross, needed a place, and Vinnie suddenly had 2 spare rooms. It was perfect. Too perfect. Before the sun had even set on Gabby's departure, the Barton brothers were moving in. Daleview went from a broken family home to a full-on bachelor pad in the blink of an eye. The vibe shift was instantaneous. Of course, the real drama wasn't just in the house. It was seeing the fallout. Gabby, still raw and reeling from the breakup, made her way to the Woolpack. Maybe she was hoping to see Vinnie looking as miserable as she felt. Maybe she just needed a stiff drink. What she got was a gut punch. There, at a table, was her ex-husband. But he wasn't alone. He wasn't crying into a pint. He was laughing. He was surrounded by his new housemates, Lewis and Ross, clinking glasses and looking, well, happy. The sight was too much for Gabby. The feeling of being replaced, and so quickly, was a bitter pill to swallow. It's that awful, irrational moment post-breakup where you know you don't want them, but you absolutely cannot stand the thought of them being okay without you. She immediately stormed over to Kim, her co-conspirator and landlady, utterly betrayed. "I don't want him out just laughing, drinking and happy," she protested. Oh, Gabby. That line was so raw, so honest, and so incredibly human. It was the cry of someone whose pride is just as wounded as her heart. She wanted him to be hurting. She wanted him to miss her. The fact that he was seemingly having the time of his life was the ultimate insult. Kim and Dawn Fletcher, ever the pragmatic and slightly amused tried to talk Gabby down, but it's clear this isn't over. Gabby is struggling, and those unresolved feelings are simmering just below the surface. A jealous Gabby Thomas is a dangerous Gabby Thomas, and we have a feeling Vinnie's newfound happiness is now firmly in her crosshairs. But let's talk about the real story here, the one that has the entire fanbase buzzing. This new living arrangement isn't just a convenient plot point to annoy Gabby. It's rocket fuel for the biggest fan theories circulating the Dales right now, the potential romance between Vinnie Dingle and Lewis Barton. Yes, you heard us, Vinnie and Lewis. The writers have been dropping subtle and not-so-subtle breadcrumbs for weeks. This isn't just 2 single guys moving in together. This is something deeper. Lewis has already positioned himself as a crucial figure in Vinnie's life, offering support as Vinnie comes to terms with his own sexuality. It's a story Emmerdale is handling with beautiful care. Vinnie's journey is one of confusion and self-discovery, and Lewis, who is confident and comfortable in his own skin, has been a pillar of strength. Bradley Riches, who brings such warmth to the character of Lewis, even spoke about this beautiful dynamic recently. It's having someone from the queer community helping him and saying it's not weird to think these things. Everyone's stories are different regarding their sexuality, and they have different journeys, Bradley shared. He talked about how exciting it is to see that conversation play out, to see someone who is so unsure about themselves, like Vinny, being welcomed by someone who is very sure of themselves. It's this foundation of support and acceptance that makes their connection so compelling. And now? Now they're living under the same roof. The potential for that friendship to blossom into something more has just skyrocketed. The big question on everyone's lips: will it stay a friendship, or is this the beginning of Emmerdale's next big love story? Bradley himself is playing it coy, but his words are giving us all the hope. Who knows? Only time will tell, he teased. I think at the beginning it's definitely a friendship. And then he delivered the line that has shippers everywhere screaming. I mean, every good relationship is based on friendship, and that's a good starting point, definitely. A good starting point, he said it. This is happening, folks. The seeds are being planted. While Gabby is stewing over at home farm, consumed by jealousy, she might be completely missing the real story unfolding at her old house. Vinny isn't just replacing her, he might be on the verge of finding a connection that is truer and more profound than anything they ever shared. This is soap at its absolute best. We have heartbreak, we have petty jealousy, we have Kim Tate stirring the pot, and at the center of it all, we have the delicate, hopeful beginning of what could be an incredibly powerful new relationship. So what do you think? Is Gabby going to spiral and try to sabotage Vinny's new life? Is she right to be upset, or does she just need to let him go? And more importantly, are you rooting for Vinny and Lewis? Is this the friendship to romance storyline we've all been waiting for? One thing is for certain: Daleview just became the most interesting house in the village. We will be watching very closely.